Hello, everyone, and welcome down to episode number 108 of the Down South Photo Show with me, Brendan Waits, here in Ocean Grove, Victoria, Australia. And the guy on your other screen or in your other ear, if you're listening to the podcast, it's Cam Blake in Greensboro, Victoria, Australia. Hello, Cameron.
I was going to say in your other ear, in your other face, or in another backyard. I'm in my old house. I'm in my childhood home here in Greensboro.
That's pretty
Uh,
cool.
I just got lazy and couldn't be bothered doing a background, and I thought this looks colourful enough.
No, I think we should start with your background immediately. Let's break it
Immediately.
down. The
Well, if I block
composition is
the
brilliant.
problem is if I block it off, that's my background. I usually block it off.
That's right.
Yeah, the composition's fantastic. I'm sort of between the house and the Fiji flag there. If anyone's wondering why there's a Fiji flag there, mum and dad, and I guess our family's been to Fiji many times and have some friends there, and a little bit of tribute to Fiji just there.
Lovely.
Yeah, but it's nice and green. I'm under a nice cover in case it rains. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I thought I'd come outside and get away from the kids and everyone inside and record a wonderful podcast slash YouTube show with you, my friend.
Thank you, mate. And for those of you who don't know, Greensboro is a suburb in the northeastern area of Melbourne. Would that be right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
northeast. Yeah.
Yep.
For anyone that knows Melbourne, probably the most popular city, a little suburb near us might be Eltham.
Yep.
Or not far from Yarra Glen, really, as far.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So that's sort of pretty much where we are.
At the northeast.
Yeah,
well,
northeast.
That's good. And thank you for making the effort.
Oh no, always a pleasure.
It's turning into quite a busy time for us, isn't it? We've all of a sudden gone from having nothing to do. Well, you've gone from having nothing to do to having everything to do.
I've really got to learn to say after December, take a couple of months off and actually do it.
Yes.
I do love doing our little Down South Photo Show workshops that we're doing tomorrow and Friday.
Incredible.
They are great fun, and I've got the OM days I'm doing as well. And they're becoming a bit of a tradition on this sort of trip up here. I come up here to visit some family, and we do some workshops while we're there. But yeah, after this week, this year's getting busier.
Yeah,
which is good. But yeah, I'm still trying to chill out a bit.
It's almost like, oh, there's a gap in the calendar. What can we fill that up with?
Well, it's becoming a bit like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is not bad, but yeah, I've got to leave room for golf.
Yes.
And family and friends and stuff like that. But
that speaks volumes about your priorities. Which one you put first?
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, no, but I just you got to make hay while the sun shines. So
yeah, you do.
That's sort of what I'm doing. If you do hear some animals and cockatoos and kids screaming in the background, that's just part of the ambience of Greensboro. Yeah, it's great.
I hope that our international audience get to hear some cockatoos screeching in the background.
Now, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah,
that'd be very cool. Cockatoos are awesome. My background is Lake Boga up in the beautiful Mallee area of Victoria.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to have last weekend up there. Went up there for 3-4 days. I love it. I still feel like I have roots there. It's like a home for me. That area was where I grew up. Speaking of hometowns, in that area, and my lovely wife is from the town of Lake Boga, which is right on the edges of that very lake is the town of Lake Boga. So we got a cracking sunset. All of Victoria got a cracking sunset that night. So
they did.
I was out there with the fam. We were, driving around. My lovely daughter is on her L plate, so we're getting her hours up. So we went for a bit of a cruise, and I said, I think we should get to the lake. I think the sunset's going to be pretty spectacular. And luckily we did. I did have to wade out into the water to get that shot, though. Those reeds were out a little way. I needed some foreground interest.
I actually thought they were trees, but they're reeds. That's very
No,
cool.
they're just little short, like the reed closest to the camera there would be no more than 1.5 foot tall. So
now I'm going to touch on something that I know that some of the viewers would be yelling at the screen right now.
Yes.
Where was that sunset on our Murray Mallee workshop?
Yes, that's exactly right. I know. I tried to dial it up for the workshop, but never mind. That's a very good segue, though, Cameron.
Is it?
Places are open for the 2024 Mallee workshop in October.
They
Link
are.
in the description.
Link in the description.
Check us out.
We've on our little website I can monitor traffic and what that goes through and what people look at. And the Murray Mallee and the Great Ocean Road, those two workshops that we're doing this year have had a lot of hits.
Yes.
So I think people are just waiting to pull the trigger, maybe waiting to see if they can get some leave or get some a leave pass from their partner or friends or stuff like that. So.
And speaking of the Great Ocean Road workshop in May, we've only got 2 spots left now.
2 spots. Yeah, I told you I thought it'd be full, almost full by last episode, and
Yes, it is getting very, very close to being chock a block. So if you would
yeah,
like to join us in the Great Ocean Road, which is another fantastic part of Victoria, in late May, I think
yeah.
sounds about right.
Hey, we're going to announce another thing on another workshop this episode, weren't we?
I
We'll
don't
get it.
know.
We'll get the details. We said.
That's right. We ain't got room for more
No.
workshops, surely, but we will. We will at some point. That's
We were
coming.
you and I are meeting each other tomorrow for the next couple of days, and
We are.
we will put it out on the DSPS Facebook page
Yes.
by the weekend. You'll have it the details of that on the weekend. We'll
We'll
get
have
it all
a
nutted out.
are we actually having an official lunch meeting or something?
Yeah, chicken shop.
Absolutely. The Ocean
Yeah.
Grove piping hot chicken shop, you
Ooh,
beauty.
it's got to be good.
Sounds good to me. What else are we talking about here? Oh, thanks to everyone who's liked, subscribed, and followed the channel. We say that every week, but thank you very much. We do
Yeah.
greatly appreciate your support. Thanks to people who have given us a beer at dsps.com.au. Jump over there, buy us a beer if you want to. Check out the website if you want. See what's cooking.
Yeah. You can even buy a slab if you want.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So Cam is in Victoria because he is joining me tomorrow on the first of our Bellarine Peninsula workshops for summer, and then the second one will be the very next day. So this will go out on the Friday evening, and while this goes up, we are on that workshop.
Yeah, that's right. We'll be doing that, won't we? Whilst this comes out, so people that are pulling up their chairs and watching Friday night will be down somewhere. In Ocean Grove, Barwon Heads, somewhere that way. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll be down there finishing off the second of the 2 workshops. Hopefully we get a cracking sunset like the one behind you. That'd be pretty handy.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. But as we always say with these workshops, we're at the mercy of Mother Nature.
That's right.
And we're going to show you how to make the most of it. So,
hey, look, the light just came on behind me.
Right. I hope no one does a little streak behind us there.
I hope no one's having a shower. Hang on.
I hope they realize that they're actually off.
This might be a M-rated version of the show tonight.
Someone might have to blur that out.
No, anyway, yeah, we'll be down that way finishing off our workshop. So hopefully when we get back in the car, we'll have lots of cool comments from people about this episode.
I have no doubt.
And we can we have an announcement to make though on this episode before we go any further, don't we? Are we going to do it now?
Yes, you are.
Am I going to do it? Okay.
I'm going to give you the honors.
Oh, good. Okay. So we did say that we would announce the a winner of the summer competition, which ran through November. Is that right?
So the summer competition ran
went through December.
Correct.
Then, so yeah, we have to make.
I know it's hard to keep up.
Oh my God, it's incredible. So we had some really, really cool summer shots.
We did.
There was a very good variety. It wasn't just all sunsets and stuff like that. There was a variety of different things. But there was one photo that I kept coming back to over and over again. And it was always in my top 1 or 2, this photo. And I believe it might have been similar to you, but I kept coming back to it because I think it was just the perfect example of what Australian summer is all about. And that was that wonderful shot. I believe it's out near the Grampians or Halls Gap.
Yes.
With the Grampians in the background with the game of cricket going on. Now,
there it is on the screen right there.
Oh, there it is. There you go. So the person who took that photo, whose name is Colleen Hope, congratulations to you, Colleen. But I reckon she played a pretty good hand there, knowing that we're both cricket fans. And it's a great photo. It almost reminds me. I think the reason why I kept going back and looking at this photo because it reminds me of the shots you see from Cape Town in South Africa with I guess whatever that mountain is at Cape Town, Table Mountain, I think it's called.
Yep.
It sort of reminded me of that. So it's almost like an Aussie version of that. So I really like that photo. It's got pretty cool action going on with the game in the foreground, beautiful mountain behind. And I don't think you can get any more Australian summer than a game of cricket in the bush with the background of the mountain. So
it looks like an official sanctioned match with a proper umpire and everything.
Yeah, it does.
Everyone's in all their gear. So what a sensational cricket ground. Imagine playing your cricket there, Cam. You'd be distracted by the view the whole time.
Yeah, I tell you what, I've played some good cricket grounds in my time, but that would be up there with one of the nicer ones. I've actually played a game of cricket down your way. I officially represented Port Fairy in a cricket game once.
Is that right?
Yeah, I got drafted for a game
at the Port Fairy cricket ground.
I played on the Port Fairy cricket ground.
I know exactly where that is. And if you go over the road and past a couple of houses, you're on a beach.
You are, yeah. Or if you
right
bowl
there.
short, to a right-hander, you're also on the beach.
That's right.
So yeah, I played one game down there, but there is some beautiful cricket grounds around, and
Mm.
well done to Colleen. You are going to see Brendan on the weekend, I believe, anyway. So
Yes.
you guys can work out the prize money and whatever that
Oh
is.
yeah, no. Colleen has won herself a lovely little voucher for
Mm.
Ocean Grove camera and photo. So well done, Colleen. I'll sort you out on
Good
Sunday.
stuff.
You're coming
Awesome
to
stuff.
the Glyn Lavender Natural Lights Portrait Workshop with me on Sunday. So we will catch you then. Well, I hope you
Excellent.
are. Hope it's not the one in February. Anyway, we'll work it out.
We'll work it out.
Of
Yes.
course we will. Our main topic for discussion this week. So what Cam did back in December was pose the question on our Facebook page. What are your 3 bugbears of photography? And it generated a lot of traffic. It was a lot of people.
It did, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people wanted to talk, and a lot of people mentioned the same things a lot. So what I thought I'd do is grab someone's comments, their 3 bugbears of photography.
Oh, yes.
So
Yeah.
Marion Hagenvort, I hope I said that right, Marion.
Hagenvort.
Hagenvort.
Yeah.
Sounds a little Dutch to me. This was your comment. So we thought we'd put it up on the Down South Photo Show and pull it apart, because I'm sure that you guys listening would have a lot of very similar issues like Marion has had. Number 1 biggest bugbear about photography is forgetting to put on and off image stabilization. This is important because it can make the difference between a sharp photo and a not so sharp photo. It also has influences other factors as well, but forgetting to turn your image stabilization on and off is really important. So number 1 is when your camera is on a tripod in particular, turning your image stabilization off is quite important. So, and the reason for that is the image stabilization motor or system can quite often lead to small vibrations in your camera when it is mounted on a tripod. And you're kind of doubling down on your stabilization. If you're on a tripod, you don't need image stabilization. Image stabilization really counteracts your hand movements when you're taking a photo. So when you're moving the camera off a tripod, if you move up, the stabilization counteracts and moves down, left, right, up, down, etc. Some image stabilization systems are a lot better than others, and I've seen that in the field. Our good friends at OM System have quite a good image stabilization system, I must say, considering you can shoot handheld for how long, Cameron?
Oh, weeks.
It's a long time. I'd like to see a 3-week exposure.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's I tell you what though, the image stabilizer one off and on. I think we've had a conversation about this before on the show, and I'm still not convinced. I don't know why we need to turn it off. Maybe I'm being a bit naive. I understand the concept behind why we do, because the camera is always trying to sort of level itself and stuff like that. But I take everything, a lot of stuff on tripods as well as anyone else. And I've never turned my image stabilizer off, and I've never seen any ill effects of that being still on. So, is it still like a major thing?
It is.
Or it is?
And I can give you a very, very good case.
Okay.
The Mally Workshop.
Yes.
One of our customers was a Sony user on the Mally Workshop.
Yeah.
And they had their camera on the tripod, and we were doing the shot of the bridge at Swan Hill with the trucks coming across, and then we wanted the light streaks, so we needed to do a longer exposure. Did a photo and basically asked me, well, why is my image still so blurry? And yes, he was pixel peeping. He was, which is another bugbear of ours, like zooming right up. But this was quite noticeable. And I'm sort of looking at it going, oh, that is quite, okay, what's going on here? And we were trying to investigate, no, your ISO is not too high. Everything seems to be right. And then it dawned on me and I said, is your image stabilization on? And he said, it is. I said, right, we'll turn it off. In the very next shot, beautiful and clear. So now that's a Sony system, and it probably varies from system to system how much, and probably lens to lens, how much influence the image stabilization system has. Now, some image isn't it image stabilization such a long phrase, but some IS
systems,
some IS systems are in the lens and some are in the body. Now, generally speaking, particularly if you're using a bigger zoom lens and that's on a tripod, well, it's the lens that attaches to the tripod, not the camera body. And that could have some influence in it.
Yeah.
And I would argue if you're using bigger zooms, that's definitely when you're going to see it, because
Right.
a millimeter of movement on your camera is like an earthquake on the screen if you've zoomed in to a factor of 300 mil, 400,
Yeah.
500, 600 mil. So
Hmm.
that's probably where you're going to see it more. And from my experience, if you
Yeah.
are on a tripod, turn your stabilization system off.
Yeah. And don't forget to turn it back on. See, yeah, I don't know. Like maybe I don't pixel peep enough. I don't know, but I've just never really noticed when because I honestly I don't pay any
Yeah.
attention to image stabilize. I just whack it on the tripod and take it off, whatever.
Yep.
And I really don't see any difference. So like who knows? Maybe some systems are better at it than others. I don't know in regards
Yep.
to recognizing or
Yep.
whatever.
Definitely Canon, or I'd put in the same boat as Sony. But I would probably also argue, Cam, that more often than not, and I could be totally wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, please, but not many of your photos would be taken at big zoom tripod mounted. Most of your tripod mounted stuff would be wider
Oh.
angle, would it not?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
I do a fair bit, especially with that big white lens.
Yes.
I've had that on a tripod a fair bit.
Yep.
And I can actually, it's funny you mention that because that's a 800 mil equivalent. So in the Flinders Ranges when I took it last, it was on a tripod and I was shooting something on top of a hill, and I could see every time I was moving my dial or something, I could see it, shaking within the camera because it's such a big thing.
Fluttering. Yep.
But as soon as I pressed the button halfway, it stopped it. It stopped
Okay.
the
Yep.
vibrations of me,
Yep.
and I used a self timer. It was okay. So I don't know. Like I think it's a funny one. I've just never got
I
my head
wonder if
around
that's
it.
a built-in feature on the OM1. It
I
could
don't
be
know. I don't
a
know.
built-in feature with the OM1 coupled to that lens. It could be.
Maybe I don't know. I just have a feeling that maybe different brands, maybe you do
Yeah.
have it's more prominent to
Yeah.
turn off than others. But
Yeah. So I used to own I haven't got any more, but I used to own a Tamron 150 to 600, which was their great little lens. I mean, it's probably the cheapest 600 mil lens you can get your hands on. It's about 1500
yeah,
bucks.
yeah, I
Does the
know the one.
job. It's fine. I had massive problems with that, with its image
Right,
stabilization system, if I accidentally left it on tripod mounted. So
right.
yeah, I
Okay.
think there are different brands that have different results.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Awesome. What was the next bugbear that is it Marion has? Marion.
Marion
Yes.
said, bugbear number 2, leaving my camera bag at home, then wishing I had the other lens. Haven't we all been there where you've just gone, no, I'll
Yeah.
just take this. And then of course, invariably,
Yep.
the thing that you want to photograph the most,
Yep.
your system's not capable of it.
No,
That is a tough one.
that is a tough one. I did a you're gonna kick me when you hear this. The other night I went down to do a bit of scouting for Cape Shank.
Yep.
Had a little bit of a look around, and I had took my little Osmo thing that you've got because I was going to do a couple of
Cool.
videos for my little
Yep.
subscriber group I've got. And I got it out of the car and I turned it on. It had no memory card in the Osmo thing. I thought,
Yeah.
oh, that's all right. The memory card's in my drone, which is in the car. So that's cool. I know I got a memory card. So then I walked off down to the Cape Shank Lighthouse down towards the beach down there. And I got to the bottom and I pulled out the Osmo, thought I'd do a quick little recording and stuff. And I'm like, oh, the drone's still in the car because you can't fly drones there. Memory card's still in the car, 400 meters away, up 6,000 steps. So I ended up having to use my iPhone to record, which worked okay. But you're right, like I had it in my bag and I took it out of my bag because I was there. I'm like, I can't take it down there, so there's no point carrying it down.
Yep.
And I should have left it in the bag. So
Yes.
it is annoying though.
But leaving your camera bag at home, then wishing I had the other lens. I mean,
Yeah,
the amount of times where it's one of those things where you get really frustrated for a few seconds and then it's like, okay, this is what I've got. This is what
Yep.
I've got to play with. And then
Make it
trying to
work.
make the most with the gear that you've actually got.
Yeah,
Well, case in point is that my background, I mean, that shot is done with the 7-14 lens.
yeah,
And I had to get out in the water because similar story, my bag was sitting up under a tree up behind me.
yeah.
And I'm like, this sunset's not going to last very long. So I went out in the water, just waited out in the water, and of course made all these bloody ripples. And then I
Which you
had
have
to
to wait to
wait.
see. Yeah, yeah,
Ended up with a cool shot, but it
yeah,
was it was a bit frustrating when I could have just stood literally on the land and pulled out my,
yeah,
whatever I've got. What have I got? The 100-400
yeah,
and done that exact same shot. So how's the
yeah.
mozzies going there, Cam?
Yeah, there you can see them flying around. They're starting to crack in a bit. That's all right. You can see them bugging around. Unbelievable. I
Love
got
it.
mozzies, bro. So we don't get many mozzies in Tassie around home. You get them in the mountains, but yeah,
Well, just a little segue. Literally after I took that photo, I got out of the water, walked up through some grass,
Yeah.
and then stood there with my Osmo doing a bit of video footage, and then looked down at my legs. And I'm not kidding, there was 30 mosquitoes on my legs.
Yeah, not
It
good.
was just, boy, yeah. So I
Not
got
good.
out of there quick smart.
Yeah, not great fun when you're trying to do photos getting eaten alive.
No, exactly. So
Mm.
Cam, if you find yourself caught short and you've only got one lens, do you get that sort of instant sense of, "Ah, God damn it," and then you
Yeah.
improvise, or do you give up?
No, I get that. I go through that. Oh, God damn it. Okay.
Yeah,
But then I switch into, okay, well, this is, like you said, this is what I've got.
yeah,
I actually, sometimes you come out with some ripper photos because
yeah.
you don't go down with that expectation to get a photo with that lens. You're thinking you got the other one. And then you get there, you're like, well, I've got to work with it. And I think it actually makes you focus your mind a bit on compositions a bit better.
I think you're right.
Um, yeah, yeah. So yeah, so that happens all the time. Even to these days, I still leave lenses behind. Or the other one I hate is polarizer. I'm a big polarizing fan. Is
Yep.
when I get down there, I'm like, oh, there's no polarizer on this, you bugger, because there's a cracking reflection on the water I want to get rid of, or it's just
Yeah.
like, damn it. And there's no way you can really fix that in post or anything like that. So,
No.
yeah, it
Yeah, it's a
happens.
classic case of necessity being the mother of invention when you're out there and you've
Yeah,
got, hey, this is what I've got, and away
yeah,
we go. And
yeah,
yeah, and it was like I did a little bit of training for our Three Capes walk, which we've got coming up next month.
training.
And
What's that?
I walked around this lake. I did the
Yeah.
whole perimeter of Lake Boga, which was really cool.
Mm.
And it was quite funny. The opposite happened. I had my Olympus, or my OM system EM1X camera in
Yeah.
my bag, in my
Yeah.
backpack, and the 100 to 400 on it, because I'd seen a lot of birds of prey around. So I thought, oh, great, this will be, this will be fun. It got really windy, and like too windy even for the birds of prey to be sort of hovering
Yeah.
and
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
So I took my, I don't know, 2 kilograms worth of camera gear on a nice little walk around Lake Boga, and never
Yeah.
got it out once.
I always, when I've done that before, I almost get to the point where, like, bugger, I'm just taking a photo of my car. I'm taking
That's
a photo.
right.
I don't care. I'm taking a
I've
photo of
carried this
something.
damn thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the good news about you doing a lap at Lake Boga is the Three Capes walk we're doing in Tasmania is just as flat as that.
Oh,
So
absolutely. Yeah,
you'll be
of
fine.
course it
You'll be
is.
all
Of
good.
course it is.
Yeah.
Everything's flat in Tasmania.
It is. It is. Totally.
I know this.
Yeah.
Marion's third bugbear. We only asked for three, so
Yeah.
Marion,
Yeah.
this is your third one. Trying to work out the settings for an ND filter.
Yes.
And this is quite interesting, Cam, because like it's interesting the way she's phrased that, trying to work out the settings for an ND filter.
Yep.
Um,
That's good though.
yeah,
That's a good thing because she's trying to work out the settings.
that's right. At least she's
Not
trying.
trying, not just asking someone else or looking up
Yeah,
on photo pills or something like that. What exposure do I use? So
yeah, yeah,
it is pretty easy to do, setting
yeah.
like figuring out your settings for your ND filter.
It is. I found, I mean, I don't use them a lot, but
No.
when I do, I put the filter on, and then for some reason, immediately my brain just goes, "What the hell?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I just sort of, what do I do with this thing again?
What do I do? Yeah,
And
yeah,
generally, it's just trial and error then, and then it sort
right.
of, you know, re
Yeah,
sort of resets my brain. Like I'll take a shot and go, "Yeah, you moron! This is like a 1000 ND
yeah,
1000 or equivalent, 10 plus stop ND." So
yeah,
you're going to need a slightly longer shutter speed, my
yeah.
friend.
You're gonna need to learn how to divide by certain factors and things
Yeah,
like that.
sure.
Yeah, do
Yeah,
some
that's
maths.
right. Exactly. Yeah. No, it's like that scene in what is it, A Beautiful Mind, when he can see the
Oh
numbers.
yeah,
Yeah,
the numbers. Yeah,
that's what my brain does.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
Quick classic story about neutral densities. I might have told this one before, but I was at a workshop with another photographer from Queensland, and this one lady came on, and all she wanted to do was learn from this other person I was doing the workshop with, and she sort of ignored me the whole time, ignored everyone else, and the whole lot. It was really funny, really weird. Anyway, we get to the last spot of this workshop, and this lady was big in the neutral density filters, and we went to Liffey Falls, beautiful waterfall here in Tasmania, and the other girl I was working with, she got a migraine. So she goes, I'm just going to bum out the coach for the next hour, if that's okay, before we go back to the airport. I'm like, that's cool. This is the last sort of thing. Feel free. And we get down there and this lady turns to us. She goes, so what's my neutral density settings? I'm like, well, what are your settings? Like, what have you been learning this week? Well, nothing. She's just been setting it up for me and then pressing the button. I'm like, oh, right. Okay.
Mm.
And then all my guests who have been hanging out with me, because she was sort of ignoring everyone, they're like, well, what is it? A 6 stop, a 4 stop, an 8 stop? And what's your shutter speed? Oh, it's 100. Okay, just divide that by a factor of 8 and blah, blah, blah. And they all
Yep.
worked it out around this little waterfall within about 30 seconds, and they were
Yep.
spot on.
Yep.
So you can do it. So take the time to learn how it all works. But really, it's just a matter of dividing shutter speeds by 2 and a factor of whatever. It's pretty
By,
simple.
or the factor of your ND filter,
Yeah, that's right.
how many stops your ND filter is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, that is how you do it. But I actually quite like the experimental stage though. If I've
Yeah,
got
okay.
time,
Yeah.
I understand if you press for time, it's
Yeah.
probably best that you do know the formula on how an ND filter works. But I actually quite like if I've got time, I'll put an ND filter on. I'll try a certain shutter speed, a certain ISO, and then just play with it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
which is always, in my opinion, the best way to do it, because no two scenes are the same, no two lighting conditions are the same, and literally using the formula may not always work out for the type of photo that you want to capture. Yes, you'll get
Yeah.
the result, but it might
Yeah.
not be exactly what you were looking for.
Yeah.
So one thing about ND filters too, that can I just
You
add,
screwed your face up then. Oh,
I hate variable NDs with a
oh yeah,
passion.
they're shit. Get rid
I
of them.
hate them.
Yeah.
They're just awful crap pieces of
They never
useless
do.
technology.
They never do the factor of adjustments that they say they do.
No, they
And
do not.
if you go anywhere, if you go like a micrometer past the little thing, you get the big netting happening.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're crap.
the big dark cross in the
Yeah,
middle.
that's just crap. But I
Give me a
understand why
spell.
people buy them because they're cost effective.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're never the greatest thing going
Oh,
around.
the product description reads really well. I mean, you read it and go, well, why wouldn't I get
Well,
that
would I
over?
buy one for every camera?
Exactly, but no.
The one thing it does my bits and pieces in is with neutral densities is, and before I had the inbuilt ones in Olympus, which I didn't use many screw-on ones anyway, but you'd set up your scene, you'd do your composition, and you sort of do your factor in your head about what the shutter speed will be, and then you screw the filter on, and it'd be really really dark and all that kind of stuff. Then you'd be like, oh, hang on, was the composition okay? Or oh shit, so you'd have to take it all off again, and then
Yeah,
like, yep,
yeah,
okay. So I used to do it all the time, like I double guess or double doubt myself, whether or not
yeah,
I've
yeah.
done it
That's
right or
right.
not.
Second guess yourself.
Second
Yeah,
guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah. So,
yeah.
but yeah, they are a pain. But trying to work out the settings, the easiest way I reckon, like Photo Pills, that app, you can
Ah,
just you can dial it in there and it does it all for you.
yeah,
But like you said, like Brendan said as well, trial and error is a bit of fun.
yep.
If you're getting pitch black shots, you may have the lens cap on.
That's right. If you've got time,
Yeah.
experiment with them because they can be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Just back to Photo Pills. I have Photo Pills app on my phone. I don't know how much Photo Pills costs anymore.
About $15 still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Well, there you go. So how
Yeah.
good's that?
Mm.
It is the most underutilized app I have on my phone. I can't believe I forget that I've got it all the
Yeah.
time. And I'll go and Google something and go,
Look,
"Doi, it's going to be right there for you."
getting a bit dark in here.
Yeah.
I've got to
It
light
is.
I've got to light myself up a bit. Here we go. Look,
You're losing light. Oh, you look much better,
is that better? iPhone light. That's pretty cool.
isn't it?
That's
Hopefully
all
your
right.
iPhone's got some battery.
This, yeah, maybe not.
It's now going
Yeah,
to attract more bugs.
bugs. Yeah, yeah, it's a great app, but geez, you like the instructional videos for it go for like a month. Like it's got a lot of stuff in it, but it's worth having. I use it a fair bit.
Yeah.
If anything, just for planning shots and Milky Ways and where the sun's going to be and stuff like that. It's good for that
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh,
So
definitely the showing you where the sun's going to rise and that sort
yeah,
of stuff.
that's a good one. That one. So yeah,
Very, very cool. So there you go, Marion. That's your 3 bugbears. We might break another one of those down in a future
yeah.
episode. It was really cool, the feedback that we got.
Mm,
And it was good to respond to some of them as well and give a few solutions to,
yeah.
things that annoy people about photography, because photography is supposed to be fun. So we don't want things
Isn't
annoying you.
isn't it funny that photography is meant to be fun and good for your mental health, but that post we put up of things that annoy the hell out of you got more hits than everything else. So clearly,
Yeah,
it's not fun and enjoyable for most people.
more
Uh,
traction.
yeah, exactly.
I want to touch really quickly on a bit of gear
Yeah, I
talk.
saw this. I just saw
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
So CES, which is the Consumer Electronics Show, or the consumer something along those lines, that happens in Vegas in January every year.
Mm.
No cameras released this year.
Yeah, photography's dead, mate. We're done.
I don't think I've ever seen that before, where
No.
normally like you'll just get a cavalcade of new cameras being announced at CES.
Yeah.
This year, nada, not a jot.
I'm hearing rumors that is it the Photokina in Germany?
Yes.
I think that's around about May, April, May.
That sounds about right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm hearing that one may be making up for this one not having any of this. That might be having a lot.
Okay.
But you're
Okay.
right. That's weird that there's no camera release at the place, the one in Vegas, especially, because that's a huge show.
Yeah, I always found it weird timing for CES. Like it's after Christmas, it's after Black Friday, it's
And it's
after
winter. It's middle of
Cyber
winter there.
Monday, whatever they call it
Yeah.
over there. And
Mm,
yeah, it's an odd time to have
yeah.
that, I would have thought. But as I say, generally over the last few years, I've seen new cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
Even the guys at DJI were pretty quiet.
Mm,
Like Canon, Nikon, Sony, probably Panasonic, they were all there. I don't know that OM Systems were just quietly, but
no.
they were all at CES, but they were just
Mm,
showing their current lineup. Canon showed a bit of new software where you can
yeah.
film with a particular lens in stereo
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
overlay it for I don't know why you would want to do that because it's not 2004, but anyway,
Yeah. You know what we should do? We should go to one of these photo shows and do an episode live.
that'd be pretty cool. Let's do
Surely,
that. We
surely that's a tax deduction.
Surely we need a sponsor to to get us
Sure,
there. That would be great.
surely we need someone to pay for our flights and accommodation.
Yeah,
And if it's Germany, beer bonuses we might have to save up and take with us.
Germany. That would be dangerous. Very,
Yes.
very dangerous.
That is very weird though. So it'd be interesting to see what happens at the next show at the Photokina if there is like an overwhelming amount of new cameras being released.
Yeah, it feels like at the moment, and I think we've talked about this a little bit, probably since we started the show, really. It feels like cameras, particularly SLR style cameras, might have reached their zenith. Like it's
Yeah.
what more can they do? Like, it's I say that every year, and then all of a sudden this amazing new feature appears. And
Yeah.
and I,
Yeah.
I actually think these manufacturers are a little bit nervy at the moment because the future for most electronics is AI. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure that they want to upset all the purists out there and start adding AI features, although some cameras already have certain AI
They've
features.
all most of them. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they have like learning things already where they're comparing images to a database
Yeah.
and saying, well, these are the best settings because I've seen this photo in this database and it looked and these were the settings for it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Well, that's like that. There's that thing that goes on top of your camera too, that little gimbal thing, like little whatever it's called, and that does AI stuff and puts in settings and stuff like that.
which is
Um,
amazing.
it's amazing, but it's crap. Like, why take up photography if you got to put something on top of your camera that does it all for you?
Yeah, I know.
Take up
And
something else.
no, that's exactly right.
I was just
Yes,
going to say as well, we should pen this little episode and come back in 5 years' time and just see what's actually happened with photography and cameras in
yeah,
5 years' time. I don't think there's going to be much changing. I think we've got to a point where it seems to be plateauing out with megapixels and everything else
definitely.
that goes on. It seems to be plateauing out. So maybe we have reached the end.
Yeah, it'd be
Maybe.
fascinating to see where we go. I think probably lens quality
Mm,
is there's still room for improvement there and room to move there.
yeah.
I think camera manufacturers that go back to the future a little bit and release, kit lenses in inverted commas that are better than what they release now. I
Yeah.
think the first company that sort of does that can actually put together a package would go a long way. You guys listening? Is everyone listening to us speak? We
No
know
one,
what we're talking about here.
no one listens to us, mate. You know that.
No, they don't. This is true.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, so it will be fascinating to see. And
Mm,
you're right. We should bookmark this for what
yeah.
2029, dare I say, and see.
Jesus. I'll be 50.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Wait,
Yes.
2029 Cam turns
Imagine being
50.
50, Cameron. Oh God.
God, I don't know. Don't
Mm,
know. I can't
mm.
imagine how that would feel, to be honest.
No, I can't eat. I forgot. I've skipped a year, I think. I forgot what 50 felt like.
You'll be right, mate. You're looking great for 50.
Thank you, mate.
I'm guessing by what I can see on the notes there, we're not doing photography word of the week today.
Well, because Cameron hasn't got his big fat photography
Mm.
dictionary in front of him, unless you took it on the Spirit of Tasmania with you.
No, I did not. No.
What do you mean you don't lug that thing around in your bag?
No, it's heavy enough as it is. It goes from desk to bookshop or bookstore. That's about it,
Yes,
really.
that's right. And going by what I wrote there, you're right. We won't have
Yeah,
a
no,
photography word of
and
the
and
week.
we didn't have a D cam either.
No, and wasn't it funny what I did?
I thought you still should. I still think you should read it out. Have you got
No,
it?
I
Have you
can't.
got it handy? No.
No, I haven't. But
No.
just for a bit of fun, I asked ChatGPT to write a Dear Cam question for the Down South Photo Show, and it actually came up with a passable question. So it
It
was something
was
about how Cam
amazing.
achieves the colors that he achieves in his photos when
Yeah.
he takes photos in Tasmania. So
Yeah. It was, well, when you wrote this, I'm like, oh, this is surely not someone writing this.
yeah,
But it was, that's the thing about AI and Chat GPT. It's
yeah,
very realistic. You look at it and you go,
yeah.
well, yeah, that makes sense.
The
So
language felt a bit off, didn't it? It was just wasn't
it's
quite right, but
it's
it
it's
was, yeah.
yeah. I don't want to say anything to offend our listeners, but it didn't sound like something our listeners would write.
That's right. No, it
Yeah.
sounded yeah. Anyway, there was a lot of syntax error in it, but the
Mhm.
gist of it, I could have easily just
Yeah.
changed a few words and made it
Yeah,
sound
that's right.
exactly like
Yeah.
a Dear Cam. If you have a question for Dear Cam, hit us up with the
Mm.
links below. Go to our Facebook page, send us a Dear Cam. You can email it to Cam. You can email it to me. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
We love questions for
Mate,
Cam.
before I fade into the dark.
That's right. Beer donations for this week, Cameron.
Just the normal suspects, the usual suspects.
Hello.
Jenny C and that Mallory girl. He
I think on Sunday when I do the Glen Lavender Natural Lights Portrait Workshop,
yes,
worlds are going to collide.
between Glenn and Mallory.
Glenn, Mel, and Jenny.
Oh, they're all there.
They're going to be all in the same room together.
Oh.
We'll miss you, Cam. We'll do a little selfie
Well,
and send it to
I'm
you.
just over the bay. I'll probably
That's
hear what's
right.
going on anyway.
Hey, you could
Wow.
get on a ferry and come across and be there for the first bit of it, then go and do yours.
I could do that. I could come down one side and jump over.
That's right.
That'd be great. That'd be a great little get together for all those three.
Yeah, no, it will be fan. I'm actually really looking forward to that workshop. Glenn
Yep.
does an amazing job at his workshop. So,
He is pretty
but it's
good.
sold out. So I don't know why I'm still plugging it. There is one in February. So jump. Yeah. Anyway, we are plugging workshops a lot today.
Speaking of plugging,
Yes, go for it.
now I'm going to do something like you normally do and say, if you want to
You,
see him get into Utah this year, we are working on my Utah trip 2024.
yes.
We have one spot left, and we've actually extended the numbers only slightly on this trip because we had two ladies desperate to come along this year. But if we can get an extra person, so making an extra one more person, these Mozzies are going to kill me. If we get one more person, I will need to bring someone else along to drive a third car. And Brendan has put his name up and said, I am your man. So uh,
I'm sure I've got some spare time in
oh
October
yeah,
to
you'll
do
make
that.
time. You'll make time. So if you haven't seen it, jump on to my website, tazphoto.com.au, Utah in October. If you would like to fill that spot, Mallory's on that trip, so you can come and
Yep.
meet the famous Mel as well. Have a
Yeah.
beer with him.
Our
Since he's
number one
Moz,
ticket holder.
number one ticket holder. So have a look because we want to get Brendan. We want to do a show from Utah for
Yeah,
you guys.
that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, aside from the fact that you get to go to Utah and take
Yeah.
amazing photos in Zion National Park for a start. So yeah,
Yeah, but you got to
jump
work,
on,
mate. We don't get to take photos. We're working. It's all
jump
about the
on, check
customers.
that out. Oh no, I'll be ignoring all the customers to take photos. You kidding me?
All
Come
right,
on.
well, there goes that last spot. That's not getting sold.
Exactly. That's right.
We'll just edit that bit out.
That's right. What's coming up, Cam? I know what's coming up. I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow, mate. Yeah, and
I'll see you tomorrow, which is 2 days ago.
I'll see you yesterday. It's like Back to the Future. Yeah, so we're doing a couple of DSPS workshops,
Yep.
and then I've got a couple of OM Day workshops on this weekend and next weekend.
Fantastic.
And then
And then
and then I'm going back home. Well, yeah, I'm pretty much going back home, really. And then
yep.
there's a little thing in the works that we spoke about prior to coming on air that's not
Yes.
locked in 100%, but
Yes.
pretty exciting for me,
Yes.
which means I might have to go to New South Wales for a bit of a quick trip.
Yep.
And something else that's coming out, which will be probably online next week sometime, is a new workshop I'm doing in conjunction with World Expeditions
Fantastic.
to the Red Centre. We're going to go see some incredible places around Uluru and the western eastern McDowell Ranges. So looking really
Ah,
forward to going there. Never
such a
been there,
great part of the world.
never been there before, so I'm really excited. But
Yep.
we'll tell you more about that as it comes up.
Yes.
But that's about it. I'm yeah, catch up with you. We're playing golf on Friday before the workshop.
Which is another leg of the Down South Photo Show
Mm.
Cup.
Is that a Stableford game or are you just
Work it out, Cam. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Sure.
That
Okay.
we might as well stick with what we started.
Yeah.
So I'm hanging out with you for the next 2 days. I then work the shop on Saturday, do Glenn Lavender's workshop on Sunday, and then get on a plane on Monday and go to New Zealand. So I'm having a week off, a proper week
So
off.
as in next Monday. So
as in Monday.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
I'll be at the airport at 7 a.m. So
right. Okay.
Looking forward to that. And I am going to position myself on a beach, and I am going to be out of contact for a whole 7 days.
Even for me?
Probably.
Oh, how rude. I check in from anywhere in the world, and you just check.
You sound genuinely crestfallen by that.
I'm checking in from the middle of darkness out here.
I know. We've been watching the light fade behind you.
Is there a full moon tonight or something? No,
I don't think so.
No, I'm seeing things. No,
I'm still seeing a bit of a sunset out there. Anyway, okay, so that is it. That has been. Are you all done, Cam?
I'm in the dark, mate. I'm all done. Episode 108 from the dark.
That's it. That's the podcast. This has been episode 108 of the Downside Photo Show. We will see you possibly next week, maybe the week after, but we'll work all that out for episode 109.
Yeah, sounds good.
Bye for now.
Hooroo.
Bye. Mozzies.
They're everywhere. They're